What could possibly be bad about consuming a product that, if heated improperly, creates the most poisonous gas known to man?
That's fair.
What could be wrong about that?
When things are wrong, I'll be by your side. Even when you want to cry.
Stop it.
Welcome
Welcome.
to the Naked Apple.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome, sir.
You know, I love when there is absolutely nothing that goes on over the weekend news-wise.
Not a thing.
'Cause then it really
Completely uninterrupted.
gives you time to kind of plan things out,
Yes.
really prepare.
Nothing happened last week or
No.
over the weekend.
No.
At all.
No.
Not a thing.
Nothing of significance. And we plan to tell you absolutely nothing
At all about
the
it.
duration of the show.
But that's okay. That's just okay.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's all I got. It was
Trailed
just okay.
off as if he was about to say something else, but no,
No.
left us hanging.
No. You're welcome for that.
If you feel like your empty spaces need redemption, like the empty spaces in our podcast,
If you need some ceramic plates for your next political endeavor.
wait a minute.
Oh, wait. Was that
Oof.
a little too on the nose?
That might have been a hair close.
Do they even have?
I don't know if they have ceramic plates.
I don't know if
remember
they have
seeing them.
ceramic ones.
I know they have plate carriers.
I know they have the plate carriers. I don't know if they have. Do they have the ceramic plates too?
Hey, is that legal? Are those level 4 those level 4 plates? Yeah, we need
Yes,
to go.
they do. They do have level 4 plates.
Oh. Well then. If you need that.
It was a joke. I was kidding.
And
but
your
if you
jokes
do need those,
redeeming, you can check out Redemption Tactical. It's a good thing they're not directly paying us
seriously.
for these. Or maybe, they think it's funny if they heard us say it. I don't know. Never
You
know.
can't make fun of your own side.
What are you even doing?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Redemption Tactical. The links below. Well then.
They have a ballistic face mask. And I never thought I would need something like that, but looking at it, currently 16% off.
Steal of a deal.
Still of a deal.
And something tells me a ballistic face mask might be more painful than just getting shot in the face.
I was gonna say.
Have you ever been shot in the face by a deer careening at you at 60 miles an hour?
Looking at the pictures of the one that they shot, I'm just gonna take the bullet.
It's not a black eye, it's a black face at that point, and that's clearly racist.
Looks like the mask from The Mask, but black.
Yeah. Yeah, just no.
Just no.
No.
No. It's only level 3A.
I've been level 3. Well, that's some serious punch it can take.
I don't know if I want to get hit in the
Which
face
means your
that
face
hard.
takes that punch.
Just like there is no force distribution on something this big. Like, whoo!
You're not dead, but you'll wish you were.
I wish you were.
No, it's great. I promise. Go buy one.
The nice thing about the faceplate is that you don't have the hole, but you still have to spit out all your teeth after.
You just kind of lift it and let them fall out.
Just let them fall out, along with all the cartilage that was in your nose.
You don't need the cartilage.
You don't need the cartilage. God, I didn't even know they made those. That's kind of awesome. Wow. Just wow.
Just wow.
Seriously, one of these days I'm going to buy one of those plate carriers, though. I want one.
I want it.
I want it. Anyway, carrying on.
Carrying on. Our wayward son.
There might be peace when you're done.
Lay your weary head to rest.
Okay, that's enough. Just you're done.
Is that Sticks? Or no, that's
What? Oh, I'm not bailing you out of this one.
I know. Jumped right into this hole and you're standing over the top waiting for me to figure out how to get out. As you Google to make sure you know exactly who it is. Kansas.
Oh, no. I know exactly who that is.
Kansas?
No, it's not Kansas.
It is Sticks. Is it? Here we are. Sidetracked before we even get started. Kansas.
It was Kansas. You were right.
Bastard.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, with that
Why
out
was
of
I
the
thinking
way,
it was Creedence?
Creedence. Creedence Clearwater?
Yeah.
Nah. That's not their sound at all.
No, it's not at all. I'm like I'm kind of ashamed of the fact that I
even
just
close.
thought, I was like, wait a minute. No.
Here, I thought I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You just went and sputtered Creedence like a flock of doves right out of your mouth.
I was thinking of Fortunate Son. That's why.
Yeah. The classic As You Ride Into Vietnam music.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Bad Moon Rising.
Yes.
It's a good song.
Anyways, now that we got all that, it's time for our weekly dose. That is vitamin B.
Welcome to your vitamin B.
Thank you.
We've got the news for you today.
All of it?
All of the news.
All of the news.
Yes, all of it. Pope challenges Jesus to debate on whether all religions lead to God.
Holy crap.
And also which band sings Carry On My Wayward Son. Uh-oh! Mary shows up in Pope Francis's toast. And she looks mad. But it's okay, because the Vatican has recently decided to install a heresy jar in the Pope's office.
Heresy.
Problem will sort itself out, we swear. Which is going to cost us $0.25 in the jar. Daily Wire, hoping Am I Racist movie earns enough money to afford a better wig for Matt Walsh.
That's fair.
It is fair. How anybody thought he was actually anything but Matt Walsh is astounding. Mm-hmm. Looks like Matt Walsh with worse hair.
The best, though, is when some of them have come out and said, I knew something was wrong with him because that wig didn't look right. And yet you did what you did. Nonetheless, here we are.
In other news, it's important to note that our President-elect Kamala is safe and in stable condition after attempted interviews.
I was worried.
I was worried too. You never know. Those interviews, they can be fatal. Speaking of things that are fatal, Democrats accuse Trump of inciting further violence by not dying. Trump, for his part, is just furious that the would-be assassin fired his gun right in the middle of Trump's backswing.
That is egregious.
It is egregious.
It's truly egregious.
Unforgivable. Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
Completely unrelated news. FBI tries to distract from old Trump assassination attempt with a new Trump assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
In unrelated news, completely unrelated news, Taylor Swift's jet seen fleeing sight of Trump shooting.
Is it any coincidence he said, "I hate Taylor Swift," then gets shot at? I don't know. Maybe.
And last but not least, sobbing Trump holds up boombox playing "You Belong With Me" outside Taylor Swift's window. And this has been your Vitamin B.
I will never tire of seeing your face plastered on a bee flying around the screen.
Yes, it is pretty great.
It's my second favorite stinger about you.
Second favorite. Mm-hmm. What was your favorite?
You know what I hate about being
damn it.
right? Is when I'm right 6 months before other people will admit that I'm right.
That is really hard.
All right, I'm done.
Got him!
This is not okay.
When faced with my own humanity, I am left wanting. Was his first response to seeing that stinger.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That feels good. Glad everyone likes it. Well, I guess if to dive into the nothingness that occurred, big pile of nothing would have a soundbite of sorts that would sound a little something like this.
What the hell is even that?
Fair.
Yep, I thought so.
So on Sunday,
Nothing good happens on Sundays. We all know that.
yeah, Sunday about just before 11 a.m., an affidavit was released from a whistleblower for ABC. And supposedly this whistleblower had this affidavit notarized and mailed to themselves and kept it sealed, and mailed to themselves in a different way and kept it sealed, mailed to the Speaker of the House the day before the debate on September 10th. Supposedly. And they account, in the affidavit, they talked about how they have worked at ABC for a number of years, 10 years, in various positions. And how they've observed the ABC switching to a more and more biased position over the years. And then they talk about the concerns they have with the upcoming debate, which they signed this affidavit on the 9th. So the debate was the next day. And they also clarified that they don't care at all for Donald Trump. They're not. They don't want to support Trump or anything like that. They're just pointing out that this is egregious. And also mentions that he's got recordings of conversations that happened within ABC to also back up the claims of the affidavit. So, pending anyone coming out and showing how false this is all we have to go off of. ABC hasn't made a statement on it, shockingly. Can't imagine why. But anyways, in the affidavit, observations pertaining to debate fairness. I have noted specific instances related to the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris that raise concerns about procedural fairness. The specific instances of perceived bias are as follows. The Harris campaign received particular accommodations, including but not limited to the providing of a podium significantly smaller than that used by Donald Trump, and assurances regarding split-screen television views that would favorably impact Kamala Harris's appearance relative to Donald Trump. Now, if you go back and watch the debate, you'll notice that the camera angle for Harris was slightly up. Mm-hmm. The camera angle for Donald Trump, who is significantly taller than Harris, was slightly down. Now, in filming, whenever the hero shows up, the camera angle is up. And whenever the villain shows up or a lesser person shows up, the camera angle is down. It was agreed that Donald Trump would be, again, this was signed on the 9th, the day before the affidavit, or the day before the debate. It was agreed that Donald Trump would be subject to fact-checking during the debate, while Kamala Harris would not face comparable scrutiny. This was widely known throughout the company that Donald Trump would be fact-checked. In fact, various people were assigned to fact-check observations it was perceived candidate Trump would make during the debate. In fact, Harris' campaign required assurances that Donald Trump would be fact-checked. This was done via multiple communications with the Harris campaign, whereas the Trump campaign was not included in the negotiations. To my understanding, any rules negotiations and conversations pertaining to the debate should have had both the Trump and Harris campaign involved. The Harris campaign had numerous more calls regarding the debate rules without the Trump campaign aware or on the call. Kamala Harris was fact-checked zero times. Debate. Donald Trump was fact-checked every time he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
Whether the fact check was true or not, they fact checked him.
The sky is blue.
False. It's night outside, so the sky is, in fact, not blue.
Right now.
Yeah. Kamala Harris, your thoughts? It's essentially how it went.
Yeah.
The Harris campaign was provided with sample questions that, while not the exact questions, covered similar topics that would appear during the debate. Huh.
And by not the exact questions, they mean that, like, a few words might have been changed.
We may ask questions about this, and this.
Yeah.
Or something. And, to ABC's credit and the moderator's credit, they did specify before anything happened at the beginning of the debate, none of the candidates have not received any questions that we are going to ask them. Oh. It's an odd thing to say right at the beginning of the debate. Usually that's something that's said not during the debate. It's like a news story about the debate of nobody's receiving questions. It's not front and center. To immediately be followed up by Harris not answering a question.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the Harris campaign imposed restrictions on the scope of questioning, including no questions regarding the perceived health of President Joe Biden. Why? And there were 0 questions asked about Joe Biden and his health. No inquiries related to her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco. Now, why in the world, if you are running for President of the United States, brag about your tenure as Attorney General and all the prosecutions and
there's nothing
stuff
to brag about in any of her track record as AG.
but she's been on the campaign trail bragging about it nonetheless. And in the debate, she even brought it up herself of how wonderful she was as Attorney General and the stuff she pushed forward.
Well, yes, that's fine. If she brings it up and states, I was a fantastic Attorney General, that's one thing. But if you ask questions...
That's a no-no.
About her being an Attorney General, like why she kept all those people in prison after their tenure... It's damning, is what it is. It's damning.
Career-ending, even.
Allegedly. Yet her career still continues on for who knows why.
Uh-huh.
Oh. That's right.
Wow. A joke that was never said.
Some things need no words.
And sometimes those are the funniest ones. The inside jokes. If you know, you know.
That's right. That's right.
No questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West, who faces allegations of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and who may be involved in her administration if elected. Why?
Why does this sound so familiar?
Why should that not be a question during a debate on whether or not someone is, I don't know,
eligible to be?
Morally eligible to be.
I choose business ethics for 500. We should really just do a game of Jeopardy for these debates. That's what I think.
Yes.
The new
For
trend.
500 votes.
For 500 votes.
Kamala Harris, you are 3,000 votes in the hole.
I'm sorry, but the answer must be stated in the form of a question.
Let's do Constitution for 100. What is the first 3 words of the Constitution? Like to use a lifeline. It's not that not the same game show.
Not the same game.
Don't know if you notice, I am not Regis Philbin, and you do not have lifelines. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's a bunch of stuff of how
Internal organizational climate, purpose and documentation of affidavit.
concern about broader concerns about journalistic integrity. Why would you want to have journalistic integrity as a news organization? And then affirmation of documentation in all the different ways that it's been notarized and sent to themselves and other people to be used for investigative purposes and such and things. Additionally, for further investigation, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that the Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact-checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. Make these statements under penalty of perjury, blah, 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 blah. There you go. So there's that. Is it true? I've seen no reason to see why it's not. And it lines up with what I witnessed on the debate and ABC in general. So yeah, so that released shortly after 11 a.m.
And as of
or shortly before 11 a.m.
As of this morning, the only statement made by ABC or Harris on the affidavit is that the verification that the only fact checking planned was for Trump.
So they admitted that they only plan to fact check Trump.
Yes.
So they confirmed the affidavit.
Yes.
Okay.
More or less.
No, that's not what you did. It's basically what you just did.
No, we did not comment on anything else in the affidavit. A lie of omission is still a lie, sir.
I didn't murder him. I was at his house at the time, but I didn't murder him. All right, can you step into this room over here? We have some questions we'd like to ask. Go ahead and wipe your fingerprints right there for us, too. Oh, no, I didn't kill him. Uh-huh. You know who did? Oh, no, nobody was there but me. And then he just dropped dead. Uh-huh. Just dropped dead. Watched him commit suicide with 2 shots to the back of the head and hung himself afterwards. It's the damnedest thing. So yeah. And then basically just a couple hours after that's released, definitely not a distraction event or anything like that at all, CNN reports Trump is safe after being targeted in second apparent assassination attempt. Oh. The FBI is investigating what it said is an apparent assassination attempt on Donald Trump at his Florida golf club Sunday. The second time in 2 months there's been an apparent attempt on the former president's life. Apparent? We don't know that he was going to shoot him.
When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
Gosh dang it.
You're welcome.
And much like Laffy Taffy's, how the more you eat, the funnier it gets. The more children you have, the funnier the dad jokes get.
Yes. Yes.
Do it. Do it. Yeah, and so he's playing around a golf. Secret Service agent spotted a rifle barrel with a scope sticking out of the fence of the golf course and immediately engaged with the person. The agent who spotted the rifle is part of a team that stays a hole or two ahead of Trump on the course. The person was 500 yards away from Trump. The person fled the scene in a car, was spotted by a witness, which helped law enforcement locate the vehicle driving north on I-95.
I mean, at least he didn't get as close as the other guy did.
Right. He was prepared to, though. He set up his little sniper nest outside the fence and hung backpacks with with ceramic plates in them to either side of the rifle. Now this guy, does it say his name? Routh.
Nader?
Ryan Wesley Routh.
Oh, last name Ralph.
Yeah. Now, this was fascinating to watch on the socials because immediately it's almost as if the internet learned something from the last attempt on Donald Trump. They immediately went out to find his social media and copied his entire social media, at least on X. And so when it was deleted, that's okay because now there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that have copies of it. And you can find them and just watch them as they scroll through their entire, Mr. Routh's entire social media. Where it definitely does not repeat the Democrat talking points about Donald Trump.
Ooh.
Which is hilarious because all the Democrat influencers tried to immediately say, another Republican trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Well, at the same time saying it's Donald Trump's rhetoric that's causing people to assassinate Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is saying things that are making Republicans so mad they want to kill Donald Trump.
Allegedly.
there's not even loops to jump through on that. It's just nothing to jump through. But yeah, they tried to do that, and then they shut up real quick when his house was found, and they found a Biden or a Harris Walls bumper sticker on his car at his home in Hawaii.
Was that Harris Walls sticker?
I think that's what it was. Yeah. If not, it was a Biden Harris sticker, but still.
I was gonna say I thought that one was a Biden Harris sticker.
Either way, and then and he lives in Hawaii. And he's been in jail for 20 years because he had a weapon of mass destruction in 2002.
Man, I hate it when people manage to get a hold of nuclear devices.
It was a full auto machine gun.
That's not a WMD.
You can talk to the police who recorded it as such. In North Carolina, I think it was. Yeah, then he gets out of prison and heads to Hawaii. Hawaii has extremely loose firearm restrictions, right? You can just higgledy-piggledy pick up a firearm in Hawaii.
Yes, anybody can.
Anyone, at any point.
Yep, anyone, especially convicted felons.
Especially convicted felons.
Especially convicted felons that were convicted of a firearms charge.
Uh-huh. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Easier than getting a library card.
Yep.
Yep.
So easy.
And then it's extremely easy to put said firearm with that felony on your record.
On an
Get
airplane.
on an airplane to fly out of Hawaii
to Florida.
to Florida. Well, he didn't have it with him. Oh, so he bought it in Florida that day? Has no military background. But he knew that a good sniper's nest has some sort of protection for the sniper up to ceramic plates, which when you wear ceramic plates, that's because you're expecting to get shot with a small round, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
The smallest.
smallest of rounds.
The smallest of rounds.
Definitely not
Really.
planning to engage with
If you're...
large caliber weapons that Secret Service
For-
carries.
Wait, no. Ceramic plates are for rifle rounds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 Somehow he knew all that just a few years after getting out of prison for...
He probably learned it in prison, if we're being honest.
Probably. His CIA handler probably
Probably taught it
to him while he was in prison.
at the NSA.
Oh, and he's also got lots of ties to Ukraine because he thought, need to save Ukraine at all costs. So he was trying to...
What they aren't telling you is he's actually the ghost of Kiev. Here to save us from the Russians.
He's a pilot?
Sure. Could be.
He's a pilot and a ground trooper.
He identifies as a pilot.
He identifies as a pilot. Yeah. Yeah. And he somehow knew. Now, golfing for Trump isn't necessarily an odd thing for him to do.
No.
However, it wasn't on his schedule at all to go golfing that day. It was a last-minute decision. Trump decided, I want to go golfing. So I went golfing. And this guy apparently had been casing the golf course for 12 hours. Trying to find a good spot to try to shoot.
How did he
Donald
know
Trump.
12 hours before Trump knew that he was going to go golfing that day?
Like I said, it's not outside of the norm to suspect if I'm going to find Donald Trump, he's probably going to be at Mar-a-Lago and he's probably going to be golfing. That's not an extreme stretch to make. However, it gets extreme when he's in Utah Saturday campaigning. And then there's nothing on his schedule for Sunday. Oh, he's definitely going to Mar-a-Lago from Utah. Yeah.
That's funny. He actually was in Kiev.
Yeah. Yeah, he went there and he said, hey, I want to fight. And the troops were like, oh, you're real. Oh, okay.
It was a Biden-Harris sticker on his truck.
Biden-Harris. There you go.
It was Biden-Harris.
Probably hadn't had time to buy the Harris Walls sticker. to replace
Probably.
it. Yeah. Oh, and also the left-wing influencers also stopped talking when they found the Act Blue donations from the guy.
Yeah. He was considering a run for Honolulu mayor this year.
I wonder how that's going to go for him now.
Well, I mean, judging by their other politicians, he might actually win.
He might actually win. Yeah. And they're trying...
Isn't Hawaii the one that has that guy that thinks that islands are going to sink?
No.
No.
That's Georgia.
That's Georgia.
Yep.
Oh,
Concerned
Yeah.
that the island of Guam would tip over and capsize if too many
Capsize.
Marines are
Yeah, that's the
stationed in Guam.
that's the one.
We don't anticipate that.
That's right. It was the dude from Georgia.
I can't remember his name offhand, but yeah, that guy.
Yeah, no. Hawaii has Kim. What's her nuggets? The crazy one.
That does not narrow it down.
The one that is promoting YouTube and places like that, censoring all forms of news.
Reynolds?
What was her name?
Kardashian.
No. It's one of those
Kimberly Guilfoyle?
it's one of those like big islander names that's hard to pronounce.
Oh. I don't know. They used to have Tulsi Gabbard,
They used to have Tulsi Gabbard.
but now she's a pariah because she dares say... That's another thing, too. Democrats are declaring victories on endorsements because they got the likes of Dick Cheney and the Bushes and Romneys and all that to be on their side. And all of them are saying, Donald Trump can't be president, blah, blah, blah. And on the Donald Trump side, you have Tulsi Gabbard, you have RFK Jr., you have, what's his name, the lawyer guy, Dershowitz. And all of them are joining Trump, not because they're saying that Biden / Harris / Walz can't be president. They're saying the Democrat Party is insane. The party. They're leaving the party. Whereas the Republicans are leaving Trump. They'll come swinging right back to the Republican side as soon as another Romney type is the nominee. They don't care about the Democrats. Just thought that was a fun observation with all that stuff. A fun development with the
Name isn't Kim. It's Maisie.
Maisie.
I think it's Maisie. Hirono?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. She's got the crazy eyes.
Yes, she does. Why was I thinking her name was Kim? Her middle name starts with a K. Anyway, carrying on.
Also in Florida. So the FBI is launching an investigation into this guy and motives and blah, 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 blah. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida,
Oh, goody.
has announced that Florida is launching an investigation into what happened separate of the FBI.
Oh, perfect.
The people deserve the truth about the would-be assassin and how he was able to get within 500 yards of former president and current GOP nominee.
Not only that, but how was he able to get a gun from
Yeah.
Hawaii to Florida?
And if not from Hawaii, then from Florida.
Yes.
He said, I
And
understand.
not just any gun. It was like an AK-47.
He said, I understand that the feds are involved, but we do believe that there were multiple violations of state law. Yeah. We also believe that there's a need to make sure that the truth about all this comes out in a way, that's credible. The FBI isn't credible, Ron. Come on.
No, they haven't been for, almost as long as they've existed.
Since its inception.
The only good FBI agent was Agent Mulder.
And Scully.
Scully could be sometimes.
That's fair.
I said what I said.
Do, 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 do. The FBI was created to cover up government nefarious things. Change your mind.
Basically.
With all due respect to the federal government, those same agencies that are
They don't
prosecuting
do any
Trump
respect.
in that jurisdiction are now going to be investigating this. I just think that might not be the best thing for this country. Yeah. Yeah, the same FBI office that did what looks like now a completely illegal raid of Mar-a-Lago is the one that's heading the investigation of this latest assassination attempt.
So, I mean, if you count the raid on Mar-a-Lago where they were obviously trying to rile him so they'd have an excuse to shoot him, this makes 3 assassination attempts in
So 0-3.
this. So 0-3. They're 0-3. But alphabet agencies don't know how to count. That's why they use letters for their names.
They can count to 3 at best.
At best.
There's the USDA. Yeah, because they think they're special.
Yeah, I just want to point out. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA.
FDA.
Right.
You know them, you love them.
FDA. Why are food and drugs in the same administration?
That, detective, is the right question.
Is it because they're the same thing now, or
Sugar doesn't have the same effects of cocaine. What are you talking about? Never mentioned that, but okay.
yeah? It's really interesting with that.
This is what we call a side rail, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all one big industrial complex. Anyway, no, I'm not going to go off on that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh, he teased us at the junction and then went chopped right back on the rails.
It did. Pulled the switch at the last second.
Rude.
Get us back on track.
Well, I mean, it's a good side rail because DeSantis is, while his tenure of governor of Florida, he has successfully sued the sugar industry.
Oh, that is good. Mm-hmm. That is good. Because, yeah, it needs to be. Hey, think about food for a second. Okay? Think about food for a second.
Got him.
What is the one food that has been consistent through all known human history?
One food that has been through all of time of human life.
All time of human life. What is one food that has been consistently consumed by human beings?
Something that rhymes with eat.
Yes, meat. Correct. Correct as usual, King Friday. Yeah. Do you know what percentage of human history humans have consumed sugar? From the standard view of human history, not theological view of human, from the standard view of human history, from scientific dating and things like that, right?
So, not talking about like honey and natural sugar.
No.
Like
I'm
that.
talking about processed sugar, sugar cane.
your sugar cane sugar.
Yes, sugar cane sugar. You know how long, what percentage of human history humans have eaten sugar cane sugar?
I'm guessing somewhere near the 1500s.
Yeah. 0.04% of human history.
It's 1500s-ish.
Yeah, 1500s-ish. So you're looking at meat, 100%. We've always consumed it. 100%.
Uh-huh.
Sugar, we have consumed it 0.04% of human history. Grain is somewhere in the 2% range of human history that we've consumed grain. Regularly. So you're looking at all these things, all these diseases and stuff that they keep trying to blame on meat that didn't exist prior to the agricultural revolution when we started consuming grain and sugar in large amounts.
You trying to say that if we let something else process the plants, we don't get sick from the plants?
As much, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Also, they keep putting all these restrictions on raw foods, right?
Yeah.
You know what the biggest problem people have with eating raw meat is? Mechanical tenderizers. Without fail, foodborne illnesses coming from eating raw beef, specifically ruminant animals, so beef, elk, stuff like that. The foodborne illnesses that come from eating those animals are almost exclusively from environmental contamination, the number one perpetrator of which is mechanical tenderizers.
Things that poke and prod the beef as
Things
it's
that poke and prod the
processed.
beef as it's processed. So if you eat hamburger, like something that's been turned into hamburger, like you didn't make hamburger yourself out of meat, but you bought hamburger at the store or a steak at the store that was prepared by the store, you have to cook it more than you do if you just cut a slab off of a cow. If you get something fresh, raw, you can eat it raw for up to a couple of weeks without any ill side effects. But if you buy it from the store and you eat it without cooking it, you will get sick from it.
Interesting.
The things you learn.
The things you learn. Why don't they teach that in school?
Because school's purpose isn't to teach you important things. It's to make you into something that they can use.
It's to teach you how to sit in rows and sit in cubicles and do what you're told. Yeah.
Any Hooters. Terrible place to eat, by the way. They use a lot of seed oils, which are horrible for you.
Yeah. I saw this one thing that mentioned it can't be that bad. It's the same thing I had as a kid. And it was Gatorade, McDonald's. I can't remember the other two. But Gatorade, once upon a time, when it first came out, it was in glass bottles, not plastic. And it had lemon juice, sugar, and water. Now you look at Gatorade and it's not lemon juice, it's not sugar, and there is water.
Yeah, you wanna see something. You wanna know something really disturbing. Look up Ben and Jerry's. Okay, Ben and Jerry's was started in 1978.
Ben and Jerry, like the
ice cream.
extremely go green, healthy eat Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's. So Ben and Jerry's was started in 1978. The original ingredients for its ice cream was raw cow milk, honey,
How evil.
and egg. So the original ingredients, and I believe like vanilla, but it was all natural ingredients: honey, raw milk, egg, vanilla, some kind of flavor, whatever flavor you were buying, it was flavored, right?
Raspberries mixed in, whatever it was.
Yeah. And if you look at Ben & Jerry's vanilla ice cream ingredients today, cream, skim milk, liquid sugar, sugar and water, egg yolks, sugar, guar gum, vanilla extract, vanilla beans, and carrageenan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrageenan? However the hell you say that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And the other one, the other one that I remember from that picture was the McDonald's French fries. Mm-hmm. Originally, McDonald's French fries were cut on site.
Yes. And fried in tallow.
Yeah.
And the year that they switched from tallow to seed oil for their frying was one of the largest declines in American health.
Odd. Sure, it's just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
They probably also switched their beef patties to have the sugar and stuff in them too.
Most likely. Yeah, it's very, very hard to find places anymore that don't add fillers or things to their beef patties. When I eat out, I almost exclusively eat at Wendy's because it's one of the few places left that's 100% beef patty, and they don't season it or add anything to it other than salt.
Right.
And even salt, table salt, is bad for you. Actual salt is not bad for you.
What could possibly be bad about consuming a product that, if heated improperly, creates the most poisonous gas known to man?
That's fair.
What could be wrong about that?
But, this is the interesting thing, though. Table salt. It's specifically table salt. Mm-hmm. Iodized table salt. The refined crap that they give you and sell you as table salt is bad for you.
It's just chlorine gas in solid form. It's fine.
It really is. It's awful.
It literally is chlorine gas.
It is literally chlorine gas in solid form. And actual salt, rock salt, pink Himalayan salt, sea salt, like the real salt from Salt Lake out here, those salts are incredibly healthy for you.
And they taste so much better.
Large amounts. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, my favorite salt comes from a salt mine in France. So far, my favorite salt so far. So
I like the real salts pretty well so far.
Yeah,
there's an Irish salt I tried once that was really good too.
Oh, nice. Is it like Irish cream, or is it?
No, it's not like Irish cream.
It's got hints of alcohol in it. It's almost as if there's something to when Christ says, "You are the salt of the earth," as if that actually means something.
Yeah, it means that you're going to be sprinkled on top, and you're going to be few. But
No. It means you're either savory or deadly.
You're savory or deadly, and in the case of ye olden times, salt was extremely valuable, and it wasn't just dusted on things. It was
lathered on things,
heavily coated on things, because it both added amazing flavor and preserved. Table salt doesn't really do much for preserving your food.
Right. No, but you get some of the Celtic sea salts, real salt, some of the Himalayan salts. Those salts all are fantastic at curing. Mm-hmm. To the point where, like, they specifically make additives that you have to put on stuff to cure it.
When you
don't need those.
Salt. Yeah.
If you use regular salt.
You need 10 pounds of table salt. Oh. Or you need 1 pound of rock salt. Or sea salt, or whatever it is. Natural. Something about natural things, just better.
Yeah. Give it a good dry brine.
This is...
Anyway.
Welcome to our show where we go from assassination attempts to salt. Using the proper salt on your food.
Ye are the salt of the earth. Quit trying to assassinate the president.
Or you're going to hell or something.
Something. Or something.
Well,
Yep. I mean, we have another article here we haven't even hit on yet.
I know it's the salt of the art of the topics, really.
Oh, it is. We're adding the seasoning now. Here we go.
This is the salt of the show.
And it has not lost its savor.
Much like our favorite video, the ice fishing hookers.
Ice fishing hooker.
That will never lose its savor.
And what happened, especially after last episode? The same freaking guy.
All the better. Need to find more videos of him, apparently.
Apparently. And we all know what ice shanties leads to. Prostitution. Kind of bait are you using?
Dude about broke his neck trying to look back at...
So good. So good.
Anyway, on Donald Trump's website, he posted, or his team posted,
on his website.
You know, something tells me if I was on a debate stage for an hour and a half and was lied to with every statement from both the commentators and Kamala Harris, and basically did not have time to get in why it's a lie. Because the way I see Donald Trump is he knows so much information about everything. And it's really hard to tell yourself that you know more than other people on certain topics. And so he's talking as if people understand everything as if everyone understands the issues that he's concerned about. And so in the debate, he's trying to say things and it sounds like gobbledygook, crazy stuff, but it's not if you understand what he's talking about. And the lay American mostly does not know what he's talking about because, well, they don't have time to do their own homework before voting for someone, apparently. So, after almost getting killed again, the Trump-Vance team released Democrats' rhetoric inspired another attempt on President Trump's life. And it's not just so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. It's Kamala Harris repeatedly, Trump is a threat to our democracy and fundamental freedoms. And you can click on Kamala Harris repeatedly.
Somebody needs to click through all these links and make a supercut to just throw on YouTube.
Well, some of them are just pictures and stuff, but yeah. Yeah, it links you to at least four times on the Twitterverse that Kamala Harris said that thing. Kamala Harris, it's on us to recognize the threat that Trump poses. Kamala Harris, does one of us have to come out alive? When she was asked if you and Trump were in an elevator type question. Joe Biden, time to put Trump in a bullseye.
That sounds to me like neither of them would come out alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's neither here nor there. She can't speak eligibly anyway.
Right.
Legibly. She can't speak legibly. Anyway.
It's a great time for that to happen. I can't speak legibly.
That was fantastic. The irony, that was perfect. Wow.
Yeah, it goes on and on. Joe Biden, Tim Walz even.
At least I recognize that I speak like an idiot.
That's the first step to recovery.
That's the first step to recovery.
Tim Walz, Gwen Walz, who's also got the crazy eyes. If you saw a video of her speaking at a rally, She's got those demon crazy eyes.
If you don't know what we're talking about, refer to How I Met Your Mother.
Nancy Pelosi, Dan Goldman, so on and so forth. Disgraced Harris staffer TJ Ducklow. I like that he has people on his team that understand how he speaks. Disgraced Harris staffer TJ Ducklow. Ducklow, who has a name like Ducklow? Trump is an existential, urgent threat to our democracy. So on, so forth. And that doesn't even include the dangerous rhetoric against President Trump spewed by deranged Democrats during the 2016-2020 elections, the impeachment hoaxes, and the summer of love. Meanwhile, the debate commentary from Democrats and the fake news in the aftermath of the latest assassination attempt has been even worse, and it's updated things that have been said. All kinds of stuff.
And this is all stuff that's been said in the last couple of days.
Uh-huh.
After 2 people tried to shoot him, we have a House representative saying, we must stop Trump. Really? This really seems to be the confluence of 2 very bad things going on in the Republican Party. The attempts to divide to enrage the population. Blaming the victim. Great. Well done. The last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are.
Yeah. Bloomberg, Trump blames Harris rhetoric, seizing on assassination attempt. Incident offers Trump chance to reset campaign post-debate. Trump says would-be gunman acted on Biden-Harris rhetoric. Because they did. I mean, like I said, you can find the people that copied his
But this
social media thing, and it's a lot of the things from that first part I talked about, the threat to democracy and everything, are all things that he said on his social media. Lester Holt, NBC Nightly News. Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance, continued to make baseless claims. Talking about the Ohio cat-eating Haitians.
Of course. Mm-hmm. The ones that obviously don't exist.
Yeah, they don't exist so much that there's video of a person grilling a cat on a grill in their backyard that does not look like there's somebody from here or has lived here for long. And when a news outlet finally decided to go out and talk to someone out there, they discovered that, well, that person doesn't live there anymore, but their roommates that still live in the house, of which there are way too many people to belong in said house, said, oh, yeah, they did that all the time, and it was really weird, but they don't live here anymore. Oh. They all the time grill cat. Okay. Baseless claims.
In other news, the local Chinese restaurants are not suffering at all. They're just having a small stock issue. Call it a supply chain issue, if you will.
I ordered the Kung Pao chicken. What's...
We
Yes,
don't have chicken, only beef.
We are out of chicken. Are you? KFC's not out of chicken. They use different chicken. Define different, because they got the leg, the breast, the wing. Different supplier. Again, defined different
It's
supplier.
okay. No MSG. No MSG.
And also, can you explain the lack of cats in your vicinity? I just seems to be scant few in this
I
neck
just
of the
can't
woods.
get over how, like, they bitch incessantly about arguments like you know, if you dress inappropriately, you invite that kind of thing. And then they turn around and they say something like, the former president brings this stuff on himself. Like,
It's the same thing.
it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with either of those statements.
Right.
Like,
He brings this on himself by saying we need to restore hope in America and make America great again.
and that we should be peaceful in all that we do.
And then you say he's going to destroy democracy, but it's he's not even dressing like he wants to have a bad night.
He's not even dressing like
You
he
are
wants to have
you
a
are
bad
saying
night.
you are saying that he's dressing that way when he's in a suit and tie.
I don't understand.
What do you think? That's what they do. They can make up anything.
Sometimes I amaze myself with the lines I come up with. Yeah. And I think I figured it out with the Ohio thing.
Oh, did you?
Ohio is
Good news, everyone.
Ohio is traditionally like the battleground state or whatever for politics, right?
Yes. Okay. It is.
Traditionally, it has been. It's been
People live in Ohio?
It's been more red recently, if I remember correctly. But anyways. And it's also like one of the first caucus states or something like that. Iowa, Ohio, something like that.
A lot of people live in Ohio. Jeez.
So it's, yeah, they got Columbus. They have
like 11 million people in Ohio. Where do they all live?
just outside the corn.
Just outside the corn. I saw a movie about that once.
Were there children involved?
There were.
Interesting. But, so Ohio is traditionally kind of a very political, battle-ish type state. So there's that. And it's also neighboring other political-ish important states there in the center of the country. And they're not really angry at Donald Trump for pushing the Haitians eating cats thing. That's not why they're mad.
Oh, okay.
They're mad because him talking about it made people actually dig into it and find out that there's 20,000 Haitians dropped off in this town of 50,000. They're mad at him for doing that because it forced people to find out that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden flew in hundreds of thousands of Haitians and dropped them off all over the country.
Okay, look, I am all about we shouldn't judge people harshly and too quickly and whatever. But do you know where Haiti is?
Yeah, it's right next to the Dominican Republic.
Not right next to. It's the same island.
It's the same island.
It's the same island. Yes. The Dominican Republic and Haiti are the same island. Split in half.
And the Dominican Republic just loves the Haitians just going back and forth.
So much so that they don't let them come in their country.
Oh.
Their neighbor will let literally anyone else in there. I don't know if you've ever been to the Dominican Republic.
Negative.
I've been to the Dominican Republic. It's a fun place. It's a fun place. And they don't let Haitians into their country.
Well, they're racist.
Racist against people that are the same race.
This sounds an awful lot like the Palestinians not being allowed into Jordan and Egypt
Yeah.
and Iran.
Yeah. I'm not saying that all Haitians are bad or anything like that. All I'm saying is if your next door neighbor doesn't let you across the fence to borrow a cup of sugar ever, the problem might be you. Maybe. Could be.
It's a high probability.
Especially since I've been to the Dominican Republic.
High class?
I wouldn't let most of those people across my fence. That's not true. There was a lot of good people I met there. But there was also a lot of weird shit that happened in the Dominican Republic.
It's almost as if they understand that Haiti was founded on murder and voodoo.
Yeah.
And I feel like a country that's founded on murder and voodoo, generally speaking.
Yeah. And
it's just no.
I feel like I made a joke there about the DR that was unfair, but I had a roommate from the DR for a long time. And he was a great guy, loved him to death, and so but the point remains, like they don't let these people come. They live on the same island. It's not a large island.
No,
it's not large at all,
and it's just those two on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the Dominican Republic, let's see, size is 18,000 square miles.
Massive.
18.7 thousand square miles. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And Haiti is 10.7. So they've split the island almost in half between the two of them.
Mm.
So that's 29,400 square miles. Okay. Let's see. Let's pick a state. We're in Utah. Let's choose Utah. State of Utah. Size.
State of Utah.
84,899 square miles. That's like if you took the northern half of Utah,
where most of the population is.
Actually, no. It'd be northern quarter of Utah. It's a quarter. Their entire island together, both sides of it, is a quarter the size of the state of Utah. Take a quarter of the state of Utah, split it in half, and one half of them won't let the other half come over.
What's the population of Utah?
3.7 million. I think 3.3. Sorry, 3.3 million. Why?
Well, so the population of the Dominican Republic is 11 million. 11.4 million.
The population of Haiti is 11.5 million.
Yeah. So, and Utah was 3?
Yes.
Million? So a quarter of Utah with 7 to 8 times the population.
Yes.
Split in half.
Yes.
Both population-wise, basically.
And
land-wise.
Land-wise, yeah.
And they don't like each other. Well, the Haitians probably would love to be able to mingle in the Dominican Republic. But the Dominican Republic says, nah. We're fine being cramped onto this half of the island. We'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah. And a lot of the issues in the DR have to do with just how on top of each other everybody kind of is.
Yeah, stacked up.
Yeah. Well, and they lack a lot of modern amenities.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I saw a thing the other day that somebody was complaining because the power went out here Like it's gone out here like one day a week for the last like 3 months,
Right.
something like that. and somebody was complaining about it. Like it's getting like a third world country here. I'm like have you ever been to a third world country? I've been to the Dominican Republic, which is not a third world country. They are not a third world country.
They're second world.
They're essentially second world country. And they're lucky if they have electricity that often.
Right. I was going to say, like
the entire island shuts off their electricity at dark every night.
because they can't produce enough.
Because they can't produce enough for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's not at dark. It's at like 9:30 or 10 or something like that. They shut off all the lights on the entire island, shuts down its electricity, which makes it really cool stargazing out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because zero light.
And you're on the ocean.
You're on the ocean.
Yeah. Pollution's basically zero.
Bueno.
Yeah.
It's great. Loved it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's why they're so attacking Trump for this Ohio thing. Not because they actually think he's racist for saying Haitians are eating cats. They know full well what Haiti is capable of. And some of the Haitians come from there. Especially since, was it last year or the year before, we talked about the cannibal gangs that were going around Haiti after the government collapsed.
Yeah. They're
And then-
having a bad run of it.
And then Biden administration says, hey, how about we fly some of them here and give them temporary protective status?
Yeah, you know those fun places in movies that you always see where the buildings are like tiered up the side of a mountain and they're like hovels just falling apart.
Made out of whatever scraps they can. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Haiti.
Yeah.
Like
Every time.
every time.
Yeah.
They live in absolutely terrible conditions. And you feel for them because it's terrible that people live that way. But that still doesn't that still doesn't make it so that you can condone certain things. It's not about race. It's about culture.
Culture. Correct.
Yeah.
It's a culture issue. Well, we need to be diverse in our culture. No, we do not. We have a culture where it's nice to sit on a toilet.
Being diverse in culture doesn't mean that you have to just take every culture that's brought to you. It means that you take good parts and you leave the bad.
Yes.
You kick the bad to the curb.
That's what actual progress is.
That's what actual progress is. You take the good pieces, you keep them, and you get rid of the bad pieces.
It's kind of how a more perfect union is created.
Right. You know, and that's exactly why the DR doesn't let people from Haiti migrate. It doesn't even let them visit. You can't get a visitor's permit to the Dominican Republic from Haiti. Because the culture in Haiti is so shockingly bad that Dominican Republic had to stop them even visiting their country because they were making things worse.
But you can't point that out because that's racist to point that out.
Right.
It's a culture issue. You're a racist. You only want white culture.
No. In fact, there's plenty of stuff from other cultures that I absolutely love. Dia de los Muertos is one of my favorite expressions
It is a cool
of
thing, yes.
of the Halloween holidays. Like, it is just cool.
Yeah.
The celebration that they do.
Day of the Dead.
Yep. Day of the Dead. The way that they celebrate it and the meaning behind it for their culture is phenomenal. I love it. Fantastic. Let's adopt that. Let's replace getting kids sick on candy with honoring and respecting our ancestors.
And the food that surrounds it is
And the food that
quite
surrounds it
delicious.
is quite delicious. Yes. Precisely. And painted skulls. Who doesn't love painted skulls?
And that's what American culture is.
Yeah.
You go to other countries, other Western countries, and the only time you see not that country's food until recently-ish was when you'd see a McDonald's or something like that. Or a KFC is recently popping up. But in America, you get Japanese, you get Chinese, you get Mexican, you get Spanish, you get... We don't do British food because, well, honestly, it's bland and flavorless. There's nothing there. They captured the entire world, had access to all the world's flavors.
And used none of them.
And they used none of them in their cooking.
Speaking of which, that reminds me, I just saw an article about an Englishman sat down to eat in a cafe. He started eating, and then he wasn't sure if he should talk to the chef or not because he didn't know if the food was just bad or if that was the way it was supposed to taste.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what American culture has done. It's brought in all these immigrants after vetting them. Ellis Island, all that stuff was vetting immigrants, making sure they actually contribute something to society. And a good chunk of them contributed the wonderful foods from their culture.
Which we then turned into poison with all of our processed junk.
Right. But before then, the Italians came over and said, hey, we have this pizza stuff. We said, that's great. The exact thing you're bringing, not so great. However, if we do this, this, and this, it's amazing. Oh, that is so much better. Thank you. Hey, we got this Chinese food. Yeah, it's fine and all, but if you do it like this, rinse and repeat with every culture. That's what we've done. And then some of our holidays and everything that we celebrate in the U.S. are centered around different culture things that have been brought in from outside. But yeah. And it's funny because Democrats will say that Republicans are racist because they want a border and all that stuff.
And because we want ID so that,
Yeah.
they don't vote in our elections when they aren't actual citizens.
Yeah. But what's interesting is if we actually had an enforced border, we wouldn't have to worry about racism at all. Well, you're just racially profiling people and la, la, la. Well, yeah, when 20,000 Haitians are dropped off in my neighborhood, I start getting concerned about anybody that looks like a Haitian when I see that my cats and dogs are disappearing and my neighborhood's turned to crap and nobody can rent a place because all the renters have turned to renting per bed in the apartment instead of per unit in the apartment because the Haitians will pay per bed. And so my neighborhood turns to crap. Yeah, that's racist. No. See, if there actually was an enforced border, I would feel confident that everybody coming into my house was invited into my house. And I wouldn't be concerned about any of the guests in my house because I know everyone in my house is okay to be in my house. Same thing on the border. You don't have to worry about racially profiling anybody when an actual border is actually enforced because everyone's been vetted and verified and has agreed that we don't want to change the culture here. We want to add to it positively. So then there's no worries about who is and is not here. Thereby getting rid of racism by enforcing a border. But if it's just all y'all come free, then, they don't care.
Yep.
Don't care.
Pretty much.
That's it.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
All right, then.
Some nice side rails, tangents. completely out of left field speech. Discussion. Like we always do.
Of course.
Naturally.
It's a good thing to do.
Guideline? What guideline?
The rules set down by Morgan and Bartholomew. More like guidelines.
Guidelines.
Don't talk to me about the code.
Don't cite the ancient magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. And there we are. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all those fun, lovely, dovely things and such. And with all that, Galatians 4:16. Bye.
Did you make an outro clip yet?
Of course not.
Do we have an outro clip? Do we even have an outro clip? Does one exist?
Just waiting
Just waiting for it.
for an outro. A whole new outro.
It's
A
terrible.
dazzling scene that hardly anyone sees.
All right, I'm going to cut you off.
What's even better is this is at the end.
Yes, it's the best. They still won't know what's
The
going on.
sweet cherry on top.
Sweet cherry on top.
Button is pressed.
Helps if I push the button to record.
It's generally good rule of thumb to do that.
He's got the clap and he's giving it to you. That would be my wife's embroidery machine starting back up.
The bobbin has been replaced.
Yes. Has been replaced. All right.
Sweet. I'm ready over here.
I am ready over here.
A
Shall we
button
go then?
can be pressed.
Can it?
Can.